talk a little bit about transparency today. Transparency in government and accountability in government. I think that there are a lot of you who read the papers every day and start feeling kind of cynical about how your taxpayer dollars are being spent. You read about a bridge to nowhere in Alaska that's going to cost $250 million. There are all sorts of sweetheart deals and pork projects that are generated out of Washington that I think encourage the sense that legislators are helping the well-connected and the well-heeled, as opposed to... Transparency is the first step in dealing with this. We can't magically pass a bill that just says don't waste government money, because oftentimes people differ in terms of whether or not something is waste. One person's waste is another person's excellent project that benefits their district. But what we can do is just make sure that the public is fully informed about how money is being spent, where it's going, who's spending it, and whether or not it's actually delivering on what it promises.
Happy Tuesday.
$1 trillion Tuesday.
Your money. His stroke of the pen.
The passage of our stimulus bill, very strong sign, but we're going to have partners.
Why are we still hearing a criticism from the Republicans? Why don't they all fall in line? Why should we? We don't like it.
It's a palace of utter economic disaster. Turn the whole thing into a discotheque. Let the free market reign supreme.
A YouTube ad that's out there featuring Congressman Eric Cantor. Back in the saddle. It's like my high school days. But seriously.
Overall, would you say that the 8 years of the Bush administration were lax on regulation?
No. Look, we were the administration that said this needs to be regulated. This is too big, too dangerous. Democrats, led by Chris Dodd and helped by the new senator from Illinois, blocked it in 2005.
What has Wall Street given up?
Yeah,
what has Washington given up? It's always the working person who takes it on the chin and who's thrown it under the bus.
But so now that you bring it up,
package,
let's
and
not
we
talk
don't mind. The auto industry will step up.
I asked you about pay cuts, and you're talking about health care.
GDP is gross domestic product. That means you have to produce something. We are suffering from the free trade policies that both Democrats and...
We've got this bill.
When are we going to see the effects?
The stimulus started working even before it began.
If we don't start seeing real signs of economic recovery, this whole Globama change mantra, it's going to start sounding like a bad commercial for New Coke.
I like the New Coke.
We have begun the essential work of keeping the American dream alive in our time. Let's get to work. We've got to use 10 pens.
You got to wonder what this signature looks like after all this, right? Sell those on eBay.
There you go. It's done.
It's a big deal for the economy.
That's why you won the Nobel Prize.
I didn't. No, it's pretty awesome. I mean, yeah.
Well, to comment on this historic moment in American history, we're now joined live on the phone by radio host Alex Jones. Hello to you, Alex Jones. Obama's pre-election campaign was focused on getting the U.S. out of the crisis, but this inauguration is the most expensive in the country's history in a time of financial crisis. Is spending so much money on an inauguration appropriate?
Well, look, the Anglo-American establishment is bragging in Newsweek magazine, the Financial Times of London. Henry Kissinger has said on CNBC television that they have orchestrated the financial crisis. The oligarchs of England and the United States are engineering this entire thing, so they could care less about $150 million for an inauguration, a few $100 million more for 47,000 armed regular Army troops and police on the streets, turning America into an open police state. I mean, $150 million for his parties and his inauguration is nothing compared to the overall program that they're carrying out. Obama is betraying everyone. In U.S. history, we have never worshipped a leader as God, but our corporate media is saying this guy is basically God. They are trying to get the public behind all these unpopular things like $8.5 trillion stolen by the Bank of England and the Federal Reserve out of the U.S. Treasury in the last 3 months alone with the banker takeover bills. Even Bloomberg News admits War Powers Act has been declared. Congress has been threatened with physical martial law. Barack Obama, if people didn't like George Bush, they're going to hate Barack Obama. This guy is a corporate creation of the banking elite in this country. And so, of course, while people are losing their jobs and many economists including Economist Magazine, are saying we're going into a depression. Of course he's partying like it's 1999. Of course he's having a great time. Of course he's arrogantly up there making Benito Mussolini faces and, holding his head high with his chin up in the air. They want this guy to act like a messianic savior, and it's not going to work. They're setting up youth brigades, compulsory national service in the United States. They're organizing, like Mao Zedong did, a separate group outside government at usaservice.org where people will openly serve him, just like Mao's Youth Corps. You cannot make this type of stuff up. The world needs to dread Barack Hussein Obama.
Oh, that wasn't enough. Here we are with 1,100 pages. 1,100 pages not one member of this body has read. Not one. There may be some staffer over in the Appropriations Committee that read all of this last night. I don't know how you could read 1,100 pages between midnight and now. Not one member's read this. What happened to the promise that we're going to let the American people see what's in this bill for 48 hours? But nope, we don't have time to do that.